Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the First Flame Scrolls. I'm Kathleen Haley. Oh, just going to take some breaths and allow for the energy and for anyone who chooses to come on this live stream to come in. Today's First Flame Scrolls, I'm feeling called to start to talk about some of the energy changes that are happening to the earth currently. This is not going to be talking about politics, but this is going to talk about the shift in consciousness and the field of energy and how there is a definite split between the unpotential field and the harmonic field. The harmonic field is radiating with Gaia now. And I've mentioned in other videos, and what I've experienced personally is a shifting of the reptilian mind complex. The mechanisms that have been engaging with the part of the brain known as the reptilian brain. And those energetics are now disengaged from the original blueprint of the human. So this means that the inorganic survival mechanism that's been triggering the nervous system is now disengaged. It doesn't mean that you aren't feeling nervousness or uncomfortableness, but that it's not being driven by a what is seemingly outside, although there's nothing outside of you, but it's not being driven by an inorganic energy um, sort of force at this present time. There's also been a much greater alignment and awakening of the mind channels. We have three separate mind channels in our physicality and the true functioning of how those channels worked. And I've talked about that, I think, in another First Flame Scrolls. So this begins to soften really the physicality in the body. All of this energy and the harmonic frequencies, what's the difference between what we've been experiencing in the inversion field and the harmonics is the body's response to the same things. We can be coming from a place of personality, which is driven by the mind, and searching through the mind and ignoring the body, ignoring the tension, ignoring the stress, and ignoring all the things that are taking place in the body, and keep reaching outward and searching for solutions. Or we can relax within the body and let the body begin to radiate and communicate as it's naturally meant to do. Wake up the intuition, bring that information to your life, to yourself by experience, by natural experience. And that's what's occurring, um, which is amazing. It's incredible. The process of it is very, very challenging. Whew. Because the process means that we now feel deeply, and we now feel all of the things that we didn't allow ourselves to feel, all the ways that we've participated in this inorganic field, the ways that humanity have been ruthless, have been calculating, have been manipulative, have been, you know, coercing individuals and playing the game and, feeling that this is the way to do it and not even knowing to the depth of how this has really worked. some very consciously doing it, taking advantage of the young or the innocent. And, what I'm experiencing as a collective experience is all of this coming up into my field, into my energy, into my own personal existence that I've had of my place that I trusted people and believed in them and how this manipulation has been very cleverly done through things certainly most um, mechanics in any type of way have been taught in some capacity to take advantage of individuals and create urgencies and create fears, anything from if it's your brakes in your car or your air conditioner or your water is flowing and you need it shut off, the plumbing, I mean, there's so many ways in which this has just been brought into society, into a world that we've normalized. And this is all coming up. And so, those of you that are super sensitive, you're probably feeling, you don't even know necessarily what you're feeling at times. It just feels like you don't know. You just got all this. I can feel it in me now as I'm speaking about it because it's really moving through the collective. And there's all these different way showers and everybody's talking about between the politics, between the war, between you know, the possibilities of disclosure and all this kind of stuff. And it's just perpetuating all of this energy, and it's this back and forth of wanting to stay on top or being the one to, come to me, I've got all the answers, or the one seeking, the answers. It's this perpetual game that's just like roaring right now through the collective and the collective energy, the place that you might be feeling just completely overwhelmed, certainly internally, a lot of emotions, a lot of places that, you may just feel the crazy. And there is a certain level of energy that I call the crazy energy that is part of the maintaining. That energy is when we jump into a rapid mode and we try to fix, and we're like, we're in that energy. But there's a place beyond that where we're just like, oh my gosh, wait, what am I doing? Okay, let me notice that I'm getting pushed into some kind of a rapid fix. I gotta move this energy in a certain way. And or a place where we're just so stoic. We're just like, nope, nothing's gonna touch me, nothing's gonna hurt me, nobody's gonna tell me who I am, nothing's gonna do that. And all of these energies are, the kind of crazy one, which I think there is a level of that that's really great, that's important to allow because it's letting out. It's like, and you just allow for the crazy to happen, the emotions to come out, the yelling, the crying, the screaming. I've gone through a lot of this and clearing this for the collective because it's just so much coming through the body. It's coming through Gaia. It's coming through us. We're one in this harmonic field. And as we're settling into the greater levels of the harmonic field, everything is coming out. It's all, this is really the disclosure. This is the reality. This is the truth of everything coming up. This is why we're starting to see the breaking open of humanity. And I'm realizing that it's like a shattering, it is a shattering of belief systems. And there is a certain layer being shattered right now. And it's a very, very dense, it's the more immediate sort of first layer density layer that's been shattering. It hasn't just started, it's continuing, it's been shattering, shattering. And I'm noticing the collective now in this shatter where it's like you're starting to believe, everything with COVID coming out, everything with a lot of these just industries coming out of how things have been fraudulent and how things are showing up. And so there's this wake up of like, wow, okay, pretty much everything we've known is a lie. And truth. You'll start to recognize that. So the denser levels and are showing up, and I'm watching it and experiencing it. And as the first flame, what my job, if you will, is to just hold the field, to just be here. And all of you that are connected into this field, that's what you're here for. You're here to just be. And holding the field isn't a holding, it is an embodiment. This is why embodiment is the key. What embodiment is allowing yourself to continue to speak your truth, to recognize, am I guarding, am I holding, am I trying not to be crazy? Am I what am I doing? And how can I just breathe and let go? And it doesn't mean you won't feel, you will feel. But without embodiment, you'll get bounced around like a ping pong ball everywhere. Embodiment allows you for that not to happen. That's the difference. In embodiment, we drop into the field and we almost like click into the entire field. So we're supported by the entire field of everything source. And you're certainly supported by my field. That's the field of the first flame is settled in and allowing for this all to sort of take hold, so to speak. But this is the awakening. This is the shift. This is the new earth already happening. And it has to happen through the body first because, we are source consciousness. We are energy having a physical experience through the body. So, yes, will there be outside things? Absolutely, because I know that some of the decrees that the first flame I've made and just the energies that are taking place, I can feel the shifting in the reciprocity. There has been also a very specific energetic shift in abundance and in what would be considered the quantum financial system, which the quantum financial system is really the recognition of source consciousness always flowing as abundance. And when you have basically surrendered, and not surrender like give up, it is an allowing and alignment, is a deeper trust and faith of letting go into that you are, in the embodiment of that you are. When you are in that true place, you're not just talking about it. You're not trying to get people to see you a certain way. You're not you're not looking for humanity to you. You are comfortably identified, which is what I'm representing here. I know who I am. I remember. I'm not speaking from somebody else's information. I'm speaking from remembrance, from who I am. And in that, if you it is that it's not only tremendous freedom, but there's a frequency band that happens. It's very different. And this is embodiment. This is the difference is that I'm not trying to get anyone to see me or to feel me or to understand me or any of that. I'm simply being and speaking and representing the field of harmony and balance and reciprocity. And so in this field, when you're expanded, there is a organic, natural abundance. And I do know that the shift from the unpotential field, the inorganic field to the harmonic field, energetics, in the physical world, we will start seeing very different those that are service to self, the ones that are the greed and the hoarding and the pulling will no longer receive resources in the way that's been happening. And those that are service to humanity, which is the really embodying being yourself, basically, and offering, who you are to Gaia, to the world. And it isn't from the mind. It is a letting go. Those individuals will be receiving the abundance greater, both financial as well as land and different things. I'm already seeing, I can feel this energy taking place where there's a shift so that this true earth, real earth, new earth can actually come into physical form. It's not just talking, about this. And I mentioned it tomorrow through the dream and specifically in the Dream Collective, which is a community that I am aligned with because that field of energy is the organic original field of creation in physicality. It's a field frequency and during in that field I'm going to open a portal And this is on the eve of the Lionsgate, because the Lionsgate is a particular frequency band that has actually been quite narrowed and distorted through a lot of the communications and energetics that's been spoken about. It's been this kind of idea that it's this massive shifting change, which it is, but it's but through a lot of control mechanisms, I can feel it's been narrowed. And so, what I'm being guided to do is open up this very ancient portal that has not been opened since the beginning of this experiment called Earth and this whole thing. And this will allow for a much greater reciprocity to happen. And why this is able to be open now is because there has been a clearing of the fourth dimensional field. I am very aware of that as well. I've experienced that. I've been part of that, where I could feel that the fourth dimensional field has been an energy space where 4.2, sort of things like that. And so basically within this field has been what we think of as the shadow self, and those have created a sense of density because it's been so collectively drawn as a truth. And but that field is now cleared. It doesn't mean that you won't experience things, because if you continue to align with those frequency bands, you can have those experiences. But what I'm noticing is that because I've seen a few way showers that are much more in what I would say is the collective um, frequency band, the average person. I don't think that the average person typically comes into this field, although I'm not saying that insultingly. Um, but I think I've seen some people that have experienced this field, and as it was shifting out, which is a massive amount of energy when it shifts out for you, it's a massive amount of energy, so it can feel really overwhelming. And these individuals are now moving towards religion, which is the next octave of the shattering of humanity, that humanity we go towards, because that's the safety zone of this information. And so but it's fantastic in the way, because now we're starting to actually see more belief systems in relationship to energy. Unfortunately, it is going to a place that feels like, demonic and us against them energies, but it is the beginning, it's a shattering, and I know that it will take some time to get to me. Oh, sa mitro ko sintarere ko simiretro ko ta la la kasnitro simbaratrum. So I'm speaking some light language to clear some of the density in relationship to that. Akumpita akonte sanitro patito. But I've really come to a place that I don't have any fear of speaking truth and showing up, and humanity's going to have their own expression of everything. And, I've had experiences of clients that I know that I'm stepping right next to, and they feel threatened and they feel judged, and they bump up against me, and they push back, and they may never come again, and that's okay. But I'm supporting the space and encouraging that frequency band of judgment to open and expand and let go for everyone. You know, this field of energy is an organic field of energy. And so you're going to feel yourself in this field. So whatever you feel is you and where you are. And if you come into a session with me, that's what you're going to feel is you. And I am here to support that for you, with you. And this is the real difference. This is a change. All of this drama that's being spoken and out there and in the videos and through all these way showers that are speaking embodiment and talking about coherence, but they're not embodied, and they're they're inside. If you really feel it, and then there's no judgment. This isn't about us against them. It's to help to feel, if you really feel there's this desire to be seen, to be, and it's hard. This was a huge piece for me that is even more recent of that complete letting go that says, I don't know what really will happen or what will be next from my human. I know from the first flame, I feel it. There's everything in me that knows what's happening, and you can feel it, I'm sure. But in my human, I had to let go of any, like, will people get this? Will there be? I don't know. And I just keep speaking it and showing up. And this is what I'm going to encourage everyone that's listening here. It's that when we're not seeking anything. We're just being that we are. That's embodiment, and it's hard. It's very hard because there's lots of stories and there's always this desire to compare and reach out. And then, of course, that underlying feeling that, oh, well, what if things don't happen? What will I do? And, you know, the universe is amazingly abundant and sources you. It's incredible. And we're here for this incredible experience and to show up. And this time now is the most incredible time. But the shifting between the fields is very profound, but it's also can be extremely challenging because it won't lay out every little piece of any fear of anything. But the great thing is if you just almost like watch it, it just goes and you let go and you go into the unknown because that's the key. Allow yourself to be in the unknown gracefully, happily, enjoying, and the known will show up. There's just so much. I can feel so much in the field and so many different opportunities and possibilities. Um, and so, yeah, there's a lot happening. So, with that, I can feel this transmission is coming to a close, but I'd like to open up for questions. Is there any questions that want to come through since I am live? Or comments? Anything that anyone would like to speak or share? How are you feeling? There's a little bit of a lag. I know there's probably a lot of questions that are inside you, but you may not have them coming at this moment because there's so much energy here. The field is very expanded. Okay, a question. I feel such a deep longing to express a voice that's been wanting to come through. There's still a raw worry and hesitation in me. Any suggestions? Well, that is exactly the coming against that field. And the greatest suggestion I have is bravery, is to trust and speak anyway. And even if it's not polished or nothing comes out, we don't even know. I mean, I know that feeling of I felt this in my desire and like, how can I just show up? And it, I would say it takes practice, but really what it takes is, for me, it was like surrendering my misery. I just felt I am stuck and I don't know what to do. And I was like, I can't stand it. And I had to express and just get it out. And yeah, I can even hear as I'm speaking, and even now, the various different dialogues. And what I'm hearing and experiencing, of course, is the quantum field. I'm feeling the algorithms and the all of the communication that's on the internet and everything that's talking in all these different layers and levels. And because I know that this field of energy is like breaking through that, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, I'm constantly hearing and feeling on a human level, my level of what are people going to think? Are they, if especially when I announce or say things like I made a decree, I'm recognizing that as the first flame, when the first flame makes a decree, it's actually universal law. It actually is real. And it's different. It's not just like me, Kathlena, saying that I'm going to do something. And I've made decrees, things like that there will be no more harming against the innocence, and that is universal law. That's a given. Now if I was to say that as a human, sure, I'd say it, but it's different when you are actually embodied and as the first flame. It is different. I don't know what people will think about that, whatever. It's truth, it's divine truth, and it is part of the field, and I know that. I don't need recognition for it. I speak it because there's a desire for the energetic to be just recognized. It's almost like sometimes when I feel that I say that, it's like this force of energy saying to this other field, or this field of energy, like like no, like this is done. It's just done. And I can't explain, but you can feel the energetics with that. Well, that's a bigger level of source speaking. But that same level is inside of you when you just have enough and you just know and you just are ready. Boy, a lot coming through to speak your truth. It just bursts out and just like, okay, I'm just going to really speak the deepest parts of the stuff that I've been afraid to say. That's how it works. And I can feel it's like moving right now. I feel like, "Di mezzo al stosh, non mi costa ne traendo su das." Like, oh, and this is just really real and it's so different. We have just been so like dumbed down and into this energy of what we think is physicality that there's just been so much fear. And it definitely plays out as you start to open. And there's no question I hear all the dialogue all the time. But I finally have just like surrendered to it in a way that I say, whatever, it is what it is. How else is this truly going to shift? I would call it bravery, but it's actually beyond that. It's freedom. It's what true freedom is. Okay. I have definitely been experiencing ups and downs in emotions and energy, feeling a bit redundant. Yes, of course. Absolutely. And it feels like that, but that is the field. And when we let go of the judgment in relationship to that, when we just that's how it works. Okay, we call it like peeling the onion and all that, and you feel like, okay, is it ever going to end? Um, it I don't know, maybe it ends. I don't know if I've hit the end. It's definitely expanded. But it does get easier and easier the reason that it feels redundant is because you're hitting against the same place that you haven't yet let go. and you know it, and it's like, what's it going to take? And I've shared, like, years ago, for me, I had the idea that I wanted to do this. I wanted to be in front of people and live in front of people, in rooms and speak, and I kept feeling that I'm meant to do this, and yet I was terrified. And so I remember watching this awards program one time on TV, and the person walked up to the podium, and I imagined that was me. And I thought, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm never going to do this. And I went outside, and I began to cry. And I'm like, why do I keep thinking I'm going to do this when it's me? I'm never going to do this. And I started to ask myself, like, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? I was like, I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling afraid. And I was like, I feel naked. I was like, oh, I feel naked. And I was like, well, I'm not physically naked. I'm emotionally naked. I was like, oh, I like my emotions. Okay. And something magically shifted in that moment because I got to my own root about what was my block. It didn't mean it wasn't challenging. I remember the first time I felt like I was shaking, I was sweating bullets. I was like stammering my words, but I don't know. I just got through it. I kept watching other people and I thought, wow, it seems so easy. Why they can just do it? Why can't I just talk? And I realized it's because we are so sensitive and because there is so much energy. And this is the testament to the quantum field, is that you're feeling everything at once when you go to speak and you go to open your mouth and do things. And it's, yeah, it's working through those layers. It's letting all of that uncomfortableness happen, shake and sweat and stammer and whatever, without performance, without controlling it. Sometimes I watch people and they'll get on videos and they are talking in this tone and in this way of sharing, and there's a depth that's there, but you can still feel that they're performing it through the mind. They're not they're feeling as though they arrived. And and that carries an energy of authority, which is a separation. Whereas it's really different when the arrival is the present moment. It's that, I mean, I've had so many things occur in this lifetime, certainly in many lifetimes, but this lifetime. And everything that I've been feeling is just like, coming through my body. But I have learned how to let go to another level, that when I'm speaking to you, I'm not needing to be seen or held in any capacity. I'm simply allowing for the energy to move. This is very difficult to explain, but you can feel it in the difference. If I were thinking I had the answers, I would be holding my energy in a way of authority, in a way of, I'm good, I got it, and now I'm sharing it with you. And as I'm bringing that energy to you now, you can feel the difference. Whereas the difference in that and the actual presence is, there is no authority in it. It simply is an experience that we have. And when we have it, we let go. And yes, of course, we share our experiences, but it's not to say this is the right way. It's to open the energy and to say whatever your energy, wherever your energy is guiding you, is your path. Okay, I have a boss at work that I feel doesn't like me. Every time she comes around, I feel something in my stomach. I have nothing against her, but it makes me feel really sad. I try to detach, but I can tell. It's uncomfortable for both of us. It's hard. Yes. Okay. So in that energy, what my suggestion is to, of course, the reason that you're feeling it is because there is some part of you that doubts yourself, that feels, am I doing something wrong? Have I done something wrong? And that's also the human condition. So that's, of course, the place independently to work with yourself, on your own. What do I feel? Is there any part of me that is perpetuating this? Do I not like this person? Is there any part that I don't like this job, that I don't like being under this person's control, or I don't like my position? What about me don't I like about this situation in general? What about me? So the minute that we have that, we can own that and we can let that go, then there's nothing for it to match. So that person then may still feel it, but you're going to feel really different in that moment. And maybe you smile. And sometimes it's that you are very free and that your energy is vibrating at a higher rate. And I've spoken about this before, that everything is about matching frequencies. And if you're vibrating at like a present moment frequency, you're vibrating at the fastest rate there is at source. And so nothing else can sustain itself. So that person might feel, if you actually are fully relaxed and you're open in your field, they may feel threatened because there's nothing for them to match. They're used to feeling that they have to guard. Maybe they have to guard in their position because people have been, they don't like somebody to be a boss. They don't like, and so there's a projection that that individual has felt. It's also, it can be their own life story that they felt that they had to fight for their position in life inside themselves. So they're carrying a certain frequency. And it's really just that you bounce against that. So embodiment again is the key. So if you're embodied and you really don't have anything against this person, and you don't have, and you're okay in your position and your job, and you just relax into that and open your energy. Imagine really just opening, taking a breath and opening your field, then that's the greatest possibility. And you might even say to the person, I fully recognize that you don't like me, and that's okay. You're entitled to have that. But maybe you're not, it doesn't, it doesn't need to be spoken, actually, even it can be. But I think the more we don't try to fix it, because that energy just creates more of it. It's more of opening your own energy. People are going to react as they react. And the more that we can encourage them to open their own energy and to free themselves, the greater the field will open. And wanting to let go of all spirituality, wanting to let God show me in the moment what's best. I question, is it ego? Is it the right thing? Am I going to miss out? And the like. Well, I would say to identify what that even means. Like wanting to let go of spirituality, wanting to let go. When I feel the energy in relationship to that, um, it feels like you're frustrated and you're angry, or there's just energy in there and you don't know what to do. And so there's this like, it feels mad. It feels like you're pissed off. And it's sort of this deeper place of like, ugh, I just can't take this anymore. I've tried this. I don't know what to do. And so that is good. And that is the surrender to source, to saying, okay, look, I don't know. I don't have the answers. And of course, there's no missed opportunity in a lifetime meant for you, and you cannot not be you because you are a unique um, like library of information is the way that I recognize that. And so the deeper surrender, it's not a giving up, but it is a surrender into the place of allowing for what my heart desires to come through. And sometimes I don't have those answers. I don't know what necessarily wants to come next, but we're so pushed to seek and grab because we're so convinced of limitations. And if we don't jump on the track now, we're going to miss out. And that's just not possible. None of that is truth. It's not possible. It's a quantum field, and there are no limits. It's infinite, and it's infinite possibilities, especially for your own uniqueness. But it's giving yourself permission to trust that in a deeper part. And really what I'm talking about, the trust is inside you, in those what seemingly one moment of time, which is really the infinite at play, so to speak. So it's in the privacy of your own home, in your own body, in your own head, allowing for a quiet to take place and a breathing and a relaxing. And in that, there begins to start to be an opening. And I know we start to seek it and say, well, what is it? What is it? What is it? And it may be something as simple as a different breath or, you know, a place of deeper sleep or letting go. And you might think that that's nothing, but that's everything because it's a quantum field and we're energy and frequency. And it will lead you, and not in necessarily a slow process either, especially now, because this accelerated field of creation. I would begin to ask myself, what am I really seeking? Like people always say money. And I ask them, I say, okay, well, if you had all the money right now, what would you do differently? And they might say, well, I would travel, I'd do this. Say, okay, well, but what does that give you? What is it that's internally? Because this is how energy works, right? Whatever this body is vibrating as is sending out a message and coming back to you. So the idea of dreaming and feeling it, if like say travel is the thing, then feel the layers and levels of where you've contained yourself inside, excuse me, inside yourself. Well, there's a lot of energy to that. And feel where you're pulling in your body from a story. I can't, I can't, I can't. And almost like forget the outside world and just notice what that I can't is doing to the body. It's pulling in the energy. And imagine if I can just let that go. Can I breathe? Can I open my heart and my solar plexus to allow for just that moment to just breathe and let go? Because in that is not nothing, that is everything. Because in that, if I allow that to let go and I allow that energy, and then I begin to feel the earth and the breath and the energy and the idea of travel as though I'm moving, I'm breathing. Like, what am I seeking? To see things, to experience, to be free, to feel. So I'm beginning to open to that. Like feel the earth, feel the energy, feel the freedom, feel the life, feel life force. Like breathing that and feeling that. So we're opening to that. See, we don't realize we've closed down to that. Abogithosh Tariyatra Kotonimathokos Nasa. Open the field. And how do I do that in me? I breathe. I allow. I open. I expand. And now my energy is not just little me, it's now touching. It's now reaching out. It's touching things. It's like tapping someone on the shoulder. Hey, here I am, or this or that, whatever. It's aligning. It's calling forward into my physical reality that I am aligned to, that I seek, that I want to experience. Apeta acumplisto istana trupasta. And I expand out more, and I bring another layer out, deeper aspects of self. Yes, and let my truth, my deep truth out, my true desires, just out of me. I stop hiding. I stop shutting down. I don't have to know from here, the brain, my body. Just, what would it take? I'm just done. I just want to breathe. I want to feel. I'm going to let go. I want to remember life, just life. Un pedaço e um pedaço de lá. Just to feel the freedom for a moment, or what seems like a moment. Et donc, elle a la compétence de la. Just open this field, life, and breathe. And let go of that idea that says, oh, this will be the ticket, this will be the thing, this will be it. I'll do this and then it'll come. That's the bullshit. I've done that. It's like it is already happening. It is the field speaking. The minute we go, oh, this will be the thing, we narrow it back in, so we let that go. No, we just know I am free. I am allowing. I am just being me. I am trusting deeper than I've ever trusted before. Because I have nothing to lose. It's me, and I'm here, and I'm right here, talking to me in the privacy of my own home, in my own head, in my own body. And I am present. And that's it. Now you become present. And so, with that, beautiful beings of light, I love you, and you are more loved than you can ever imagine. Enjoy this field of energy. Enjoy this life. Get excited. Open up. I love you. Join the dream field. Come into this container of creation. Come to my website. There's lots of activations and choices there. Come into the field of true reciprocity. With so much love and harmony and joy that I am here with you. Until next time, I'm Kathleen Haley, First Flame of Source. Take care.